Okay, I think in our last video our rendering was looking pretty nice. That's cool. It's not quite where I want it yet because I want some more color. It looks kind of dull right now. It's got this nice environment light going on, but I want a little bit something more. So one thing I'm going to show you that's cool is, now you'll notice that when I change in my viewport, then my progressive rendering is going to change, which is fine. But what I want to do is actually select the sun and lock it as a selection. And remember, spacebar can do that with my hotkeys. And I think that's a default hotkey. Now if you hit C and go back to camera, now that light is selected so I can edit it over here while looking through my camera. So I think what I want to do here is add a filter color to the V-Ray sun. So I'm going to leave the V-Ray sun on and add a filter color to it. And remember that lighting kind of works in complementary colors. So if we have this kind of deep bluish purple environment light, then our sunlight would be a more warm and yellowy orange. And this is almost kind of salmon colored maybe. You can see you can go pretty heavy on the saturation there, and it's all updating for us pretty much instantly. Okay, so that might be a little heavy. It's starting to look a little reddish in here, which we don't want. But I think this pale peach color is really nice. So now our building looks a lot warmer and the background looks cooler. We of course need to unlock that light now that our lighting's right. Select the camera. And it looks like we need to adjust perspective control. So let's make sure, just like in V-Ray with the physical camera, we can do auto vertical tilt correction. That just tilts everything up straight up and down, which is what we want for architectural scenes in general. Okay, so you'll notice, and I've shown in other videos, but the V-Ray camera and the physical camera have all the same settings. It just takes a little getting used to because they're in different places and they might be called different things. Okay, so there's a really nicely lit house. That's pretty cool. I like that a lot. So we continue on from there. In the newer versions of V-Ray, there's one other thing I want to show you too. There are these awesome correction controls, and these really have been around for a while, but they're developing them a little bit more. You can click on this in the V-Ray frame buffer, show corrections control, and within here you can now adjust things like levels, color balance. So we'll take the highlights and make them more yellowy red. Ooh, that's nice. And then take the shadows and make them more blue. Get kind of that color graded look, a little bit more moody. That's cool. And we can add a curve to it to add a little contrast. Okay, so this gives you good previews of what you can do in post, basically. Okay, that's quite nice. That looks great. It's bringing out a lot of the detail, which is kind of one of the purposes of the lighting, to really show the dimensions, the dimensionality of this building. So it doesn't look flat, but it looks, you can see the ins and outs. Everything looks nice. I can even see a few flaws in my models, but I won't point those out. You guys can find them for yourself and hopefully fix them even. Okay, so this rendering's looking pretty nice. We've shown some adjustments we can do. We've shown some HDRI stuff, which is great. We've adjusted our lights to get our colors right. We've got a pretty nice composition going on, nice enough anyway, and we'll go forward from here.